Alright, multiplication workshop. Yeah, 20. Oh, there's comments on the field. I guess I'll be able to do those now. It seems like only yesterday we were learning about adding. Fond memories. We worked so hard back then. Yes, we did. I hope you enjoy your new label maker. I personally prefer to label just about everything. Copy to 4? What? What does that even mean? Just stick a label on it, and you'll never need those to use numbers again. I've also labeled my sandwich. So now you know which one not to eat. You're welcome. Well, isn't he proud? Oh, look at him writing on the paper in front of his face, not even using a clipboard like a lunatic. What are you, a lunatic? Where's my label maker? 0. Okay. Okay, you say that, but where's my label maker actually? Oh, do I just click on any of them? Yep. Okay, you just click on any of them. Good to know. Huh. I'm gonna just delete these. I don't know what the game plan was planning, but I'm gonna not. I'm just gonna go ahead and not let them cloud my judgment. For each 2 things in the inbox, multiply them and outbox the result. Don't worry about negative numbers for now. What do you mean by don't worry about negative numbers? Do you mean there just won't be any negative numbers? You got labels. They can help you remember the purpose of each tile on the floor. Just tap any tile on the floor to edit. Okay. Go away? I don't even want to look at whatever the hell the game's giving me here. Don't give me a job. I got my own things to do. Okay, so inbox. Boom. First 2 things, multiply them. Okay. You didn't give me a multiply function, did you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Huh. This is going to be interesting. So I'm gonna have to use the count. I'm gonna have to add the thing to itself while also using the countdown feature I just used, basically. Because they want me to multiply it, but they didn't give me a multiply function. That's brutal. Okay. Copy 2. 0. And then go to inbox again. Copy 2. 1. This is gonna be interesting. Let's see. This is where things are gonna get interesting. Alright, so we're gonna there are zeros in there too, so we gotta be careful. Yeah. So I think right off the bat I need to set up an if 0 function. Hi! Looks too much like it's waving. Drawing with the mouse is hard. And jump if 0. Put those right after the inboxes. Because the idea here is that if it's 0... shit. I gotta be a little careful here. Because I have to also make sure I'm doing pairs. So if I pick up a 0, then the end result of the multiplication is 0, at which point you would just output it, and that's over, that's the end. So there's no reason to do the equation. But if I do jump if 0 to here at the beginning, then I'm in trouble. So... the second jump if 0 is when I pick up the second item, so my pair is over, at which point I will copy from the 0 and outbox that, because that's the result. That's not necessary. No, put that before then. The second jump to, this is when I pick up the second value. If the second value is 0, then just outbox that 0 and we're good. If the first value is 0, then I need to jump down here. I need to grab the next inbox item so that the pair of them are both grabbed. Then copy from 9 to make it 0 anyway, because that's what the result's going to be, because the first value was 0. And then outbox that. So there we go. That's the 0 outcomes. So I've dealt with 0 now as an eventuality. So at this point, if the 0 has not happened, I'm going to copy to 0, which means this cell right here, the first thing of the inbox. And then I'm going to go back to the inbox and copy the second thing to the inbox. Now what I need to do is multiply the first value by the second value, assuming neither of them is 0, because that situation's been filtered out. Which means I need to take the 0 field and add it to itself. Basically. I'm gonna make you copy to 2. I think I'm actually gonna need 2 fields because I need to have the original number and the sum. So I'm gonna take the original number and I'm gonna add it to the sum, then copy that back down, then interval the thing I'm multiplying it by. So we've copied to 0, we've copied to 2. I've now confirmed that neither of them is 0. So I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy from 0. And I'm going to add 1 and then copy to 1. So if this is set, if this is 7, which it will be, I'm taking the 7 and adding it to itself, which this will be empty at first. That'll be a thing I'll have to remember, is I'll have to make this 0 later. At the end of the sequence, I have to make it 0, otherwise it'll keep adding from the previous interval, basically. Oh, boy. We're gonna have a party today. Okay, so this is a lot. This is a lot to do. This game's getting crazy right out the bat the moment I finish the let's try. Okay, so copy from 0, add 1, then copy to 1, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to bump down 2, and we're gonna keep doing that until it reaches 0, basically. So at that point, I'm going to loop that sequence, copy. No, there we go. Copy from 1, add 1. Copy from 0, add 1. Copy to 2, and then yeah. Copy from 0, add 1. Copy to 1, bump 2. We're gonna keep doing that until 2 equals 0. And I have to do a copy from 0 every single time, because when I do the bump, I'm gonna be holding this value, and I don't want to do that. But while I'm holding that value, we're gonna have to do a jump if 0, because that's gonna mean I'm done with the process. And so this is gonna be what I do at the end of this entire process, which is if 2 becomes 0, then what I need to do is I need to copy from whatever 1 is, because that's my new sum, which is the multiplication. And we're going to outbox that. Cool. Then we're going to copy from this field that has the 0 in it, the permanent 0, and we're going to place that over 1. And then we're going to finally jump all the way back to the beginning. I think I did it. Maybe? Shit, what's happening if it gets to the 0? I didn't double check this one now. So if either value is 0, it goes to the outbox. I just added this loop right here, right? So I need to add U to make sure that when the 0 situation happens, it is starting over. There we go. Add a little comment in here. That's the multiplication sum down here. This is what happens if one of them is 0. This is the multiplication. I think I did it, but I'm not entirely sure. This one's a little crazy. This is kind of fun, though. You can't add with an empty tile on the floor. Try writing something in that tile first. Okay. Reasonable, I suppose. Okay. So let's do copy from 9, copy 2, 1. Let's move those to the very beginning. That should solve that problem. There we go. Boink. Oh my god, we're watching multiplication happen in the most time-consuming and awful way possible. It's actually hell. This is what Satan creates to make bad things happen. Alright, I just need to know if this one outcome's gonna be correct or not, or if it's gonna be like off by 1 maybe, like I've made a miscalculation of how to handle this. Ha! He like wiped his brow from the fear. This is time-consuming and fast-forward. Ah, it's all correct, I think. Good. Yeah. Don't make fun of me. Oh boy, yeah. Seems I didn't have the best idea. These challenges can be very difficult, and in many cases not possible to do at the same time. Yeah, right now I'm happy to even beat the levels. Ooh. Wow, that's a 0% success, which happened in the maximization room too. I think that's the one where I tried to double check something and try to figure out how to iterate, maybe. I beat it though. I beat it. 0 terminated sum. What's gonna happen? Fibonacci visitor. I'm worried about that one a little bit. Yes, we believe in educating our employees on the job here. Do you know what a 0 terminated string is? Yes, it's a very old technique, but we don't expect you to know. So you may ask me about it if you like. Or you may ask an external source. Whatever helps you get the job done. Okay, tell me more. What is a 0 terminated string? Yes, I can tell you. A string is just a list of values, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 9, 9, 2. But how do we know when one string ends and another string begins? We can mark the end of a string with something special, like a 0. Here are 2 0 terminated strings. 1, 2, 3, 0, 9, 8, 0. See how that works? And sometimes a string can be empty. Here are 3 strings. Notice that the middle one is empty. Right, because there was just a 0 and nothing else in between it. And yes, sadly, this all means that a string cannot contain the number 0, since 0 means something special. Well, now we know. Back to work. Now I will scribble on this paper an inch from my face like some kind of lunatic. The inbox is filled with 0 terminated strings. What's that? Ask me, your boss. Add together all the numbers in each string. When you reach the end of a string, marked by a 0, put your sum in the outbox. Reset and repeat for each string. Okay. 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 This doesn't sound very hard, actually. Inbox. If 0. Inbox. Right? Because they said a string could have 0, could be blank. How do you output a blank string? Do you output the 0 or do you output a blank string? Do you just skip it? I'm not sure. I'm gonna assume you skip it and find out the hard way when I'm wrong. Add together all the numbers in each string. When you reach the end of the string marked by 0, put the sum in the outbox. So we're just gonna add these things. So assuming it's not 0, we're going to copy this thing to 0. And then we're going to go back to the inbox. And we're going to copy, not copy from, you just pick it up. You already have it. We're going to then add that to 0, and then copy to 0. There we go. Yeah, I think this is right. So go to the inbox. So first inbox is copied to 0. Then we go back to the inbox and add that to 0 and copy it to 0. So we're just going to keep adding it each time. So that's going to have a jump loop, I believe. Inbox, add 0, copy to 0. So you're adding it and then you're overriding it as the new answer. And this keeps looping around forever until... Let's see, we already know the first inbox thing is not 0, so this is we'll do a jump if 0. If the thing you get out of the inbox during this loop becomes a 0, now we need to end string. This is awful. This is... Can I just type, please? No? Alright. And... This is awful. I hate it. I hate it. Good. I hate it. It's... You write so big. I gotta be able to do better than that. That's approximately like language. Anyway, this is me ending the string when I have been adding stuff up. At this point, because what we picked up is 0, what we need to do is we need to copy from the field 0, which is where our current sum is, and we need to outbox that. And then we would jump back to the beginning. Have I left a gap here somewhere? I probably have. Let's find out. The hard way. That's always fun. So 6. Add those together. Override it. Good. Oh no, we found a 0. We better get the 11 and put it away. Cool. Yeah, okay, so it's overriding it, so I don't have to set it to 0. That's good. I think we're good. We'll see. Oh, this... Okay, yeah. The game... Oh. Bad outbox. Management expected a 0, but you outboxed a -1. Had that happen. Let's find out. Oh boy. Let's see, inbox. No, damn it, slow down. I wish it wouldn't stay... I think this thing should default back to slow every single time, and you should have to manually speed it up. It gets a little frustrating if it stays fast when you don't want it to. So I'm trying to see what's going wrong there. So 3, 0. Oh. Oh, the problem is that I have the wrong number of items? Was it the same error I got last time? Okay, so I think the takeaway here is that if you get a 0 at the beginning, I think you're supposed to output the 0. Okay, so at the beginning of the game, at the beginning we go to the inbox, and then if we jump to we go back to jump to 0 if a bad thing happens. Might have to come up with a different outcome than that though. Let's jump to 0 down here instead. Blank string. That's some fantastic writing right there. It's also not an L. There we go. Ta-da! Boop. I don't know why I'm fixing it so many times. Alright. So if it's a blank string, we're going to... Let's see, we already picked up a 0. That's how it got here. So we're going to outbox. And then jump back to the beginning. I think that's what happened, is I wasn't outputting my blanks. We're good? Okay, I had less problem than I expected. Ultimately, what happened there is I was not outputting the zeros, so my very first question of whether or not I should do that or not was exactly what the problem was at the end. I was unsure whether or not I needed to output zeros as being the blank string itself or not. Okay. Continue to elevator. The Fibonacci visitor. I don't know how I feel about something being Fibonacci anyway. Anything. How long is this game? Am I really far already? I might be really far already, but this also might get really hard. Some of those, I can imagine, because it's a programming game, I could see some of these being an entire episode if they get sufficiently longer, whereas these are like a bunch, like some of this early stuff was like tutorials, but it's still hard not to notice how quickly I'm climbing. That said, this is essentially a whole screen's worth of stuff right here, because this is 8 levels, but they're just next to each other.